This is the first part of a two-part video showing how to take your finished PS4 Death Stranding save, exporting it to your Director's Cut PS5 Death Stranding, and completing a few orders and a few collectibles, which will get you your new Death Stranding Director's Cut Platinum. Here, we are exporting our save data on our PS4 save using the system menu here, just hitting the options button and going down to export save data. And that's really all you need to do on the PS4. I want to show you just my stats here, just so you know that this is a fully completed game. I fabricated all 72 items. I have built all 10 structures. That includes signs, ladders, and climbing anchors. I have upgraded to level 3 all structures that you build with the PCCs, all 7 of them. I've collected all the memory chips, and I've gotten more than 20 Legends of Legends in all 4 of the categories that you need to get them in. I've gotten all the preppers to 5 stars. I've gotten everyone on the UCA, so on and so on and so on. So when you load this save onto your PS5 Director's Cut, you'll get all those trophies already. The only things you will not get are the Master Builder trophy, the Homo Faber trophy, and the other one for upgrading all the structures, which I don't remember what it's called right now. And that is because the Director's Cut adds, you go from 72 to 108, so that's 36 more items that you have to fabricate. And there's 3 new structures: a chiral bridge, a jump ramp, and a cargo cannon. And we'll be taking a look on how to unlock all those, along with the 14 items you need to unlock and fabricate, and the 27 items that will be unlocked for you when you begin playing the Director's Cut. The other trophy is called Trailblazer. That's for upgrading all structures to level 3. So here we are at the beginning menu of the Director's Cut Death Stranding, and we chose to load the save data from the PlayStation 4. And now what you're going to see is 2 trophies pop in here. This was the first trophy here that started popping in, and then you're going to see the final trophy. I just chose those 2 trophies just to show how that works. And the funny thing was, when I did this, I only saw 1 trophy actually pop, and I was a little concerned that maybe there was more I was supposed to do, and I went back and checked, and I had all but the 3 trophies and the platinum that I needed. So now we have 27 new pieces that we can fabricate already. The cargo catapult is already available to us to build. There's a lot of neat new backpack customizations which you can mess around with, but you don't have to necessarily have to do that. Some color schemes and some other songs are unlocked, and you will be unlocking a few more when you complete some of the orders and some of the random missions.
Sam, I hate to say it, but I've got a high priority request. While this has nothing to do with our network expansion operations, it's still a major cause for concern.
Die Hardman here is going to be giving you a couple prompts for some new missions.
Until then. Don't delay, Sam. This one's important.
For those eagle-eye viewers, you may have noticed that the first trophy that popped was not the very first trophy you get in the game. I'll explain why in a few minutes. But before that, speaking of being eagle-eyed, if you happen to notice, we just passed by a strange-looking package, and it is a companion cube. There are, I think, about 5 or 6 companion cubes you can find now in the Director's Cut, and the first 3 that you find, actually the second and the third ones that you find, are going to be the important ones, and I'm going to show you how to get those too. But this one we happen to pass in our travels to the distribution center west of Capital Knot City. So we're going to pick it up and we're going to take it right to the distribution center. There's the Ludens fan, and behind the Ludens fan you see a mule lockbox. We're going to need to get into that lockbox. That is the new set of orders that were added to this game that have a little bit of a really neat story element that adds some information about some of the characters of this story. So we're heading to the distribution center to pick up that order, actually, and once we get there, I'm going to show you the email that I had gotten previously that alluded us to needing to find that cube and where to bring it.
Beginning scan. Scanning bridges ID. Verifying ID. Clear. Weapons detected. All weapons will be decommissioned.
So for the most part, I'm going to be showing you mostly just the most important bits, but there's going to be a little bit of, you know, moving from one place to another just to help you understand where some of the new items are, or where certain things are located, just so there's a little bit more information provided here. And altogether, it's about 2 hours of video that you're going to see here between this video and the next one. And it's cut down pretty far, but to be honest, I probably only put about 5 or 6 hours of gameplay in to get the Director's Cut Platinum. It's not too hard of it's not too much work that you have to put into it. Not a lot of time you got to put into this if you want the platinum quickly. So we just turned in the first companion cube, and we're going to end up getting a reward, but it's not going to be an item that we can fabricate. But that's okay. It's still a pretty neat item. So while this is happening, let me just explain. So when I first loaded the Director's Cut, for some reason it didn't recognize my exported save data from my PS4 that I did about a year ago. Either I just waited too long. Of course, I just got the PS5 and got this game fairly recently. So it wasn't a matter of waiting. We get some Gordon glasses from Half-Life. Nice little reference there. But what I ended up doing was I played the entire prologue of the Director's Cut first before exporting the save data. So that's why the first trophy that popped was the, I believe, Chapter 1 ending trophy? I'm not entirely sure. Maybe Chapter 2. So we got that cube turned in, and the reason we did that is to kind of progress that quest line, so that once we rest, we're going to end up getting the next email that's going to help us obtain the next lost companion cube, and that's going to unlock one of the items that we're going to need to fabricate for the Homo Faber trophy. These are some of the new emails we got telling us to rest in the private rooms, because that's going to start whenever you're waiting for something to happen. The best avenue to take is to rest in a private room, and that will usually spawn the next mission or order for you. And here's the email that we got that told us where the companion cube was. So we're going to rest, and then we're going to see some new quests popping up. So we just rested, and you're going to see two things happen relatively at the same time. Two different kind of missions are going to pop up here. First, we're going to get an email, and Die Hardman's going to tell us to go to the distro center south of Lake Knot City. And check my notes here. I think south of Lake Knot City Distribution Center, that is, I believe, Order 83, which is a rescue mission. You actually have to transport a porter who's unable to walk, and that will unlock the buddy bot. We'll take a look at that in, I think, later on in this video, I believe. So when we look at that one. And then we got 2 emails about 2 more lost cargoes. Finding both of those will unlock 2 more items that you need to fabricate. We also haven't looked at the V-chip quest line that's connected to Cyberpunk. If you didn't realize, the quest line that we already started here with the emails with the Lambda symbols, those are all Half-Life, Portal, all kind of Valve made games. You actually get a Valve as one of your rewards for returning one of the lost companion cubes. It's an actual Valve. Like, it's really funny. I don't know, it's funny to me. So let me explain what's happening next here. I looked at Order 77, which is the first of 3 new orders that tie well to the storyline and actually add some depth to some of the characters here if you finish all 3 of the orders. And when I looked at the first order here and I saw that the Maser gun was recommended, I thought I messed something up, and I thought there was a order or a mission or something I was supposed to do before doing this to get the Maser gun unlocked. I didn't realize until later, coming back here and doing this again, that they actually give you the Maser gun to do this mission. So I would suggest the first thing you do once you get that first companion cube, you're here at the distribution center west of the capital, not city, I think that's what it's called. Take Order 77, get the Maser gun, and head up behind the Ludens fan and deal with the mules out there.
We're issuing you a Maser gun.
What I had done was I went up to that area. See, we're getting the Maser gun here, and I actually took all of the mules out. So when we arrive there, we're going to walk there in a few minutes. When we arrive there, they're all going to be already passed out. So if you're heading there for the first time and you're following this video, they will be active. There will be about 5, I believe, 5 or 6 mules outside of this new facility, and you'll have to take them out. With the Maser gun, you should be able to take all of them out, but the Maser gun's kind of tricky to use. It shoots like an electrical blast, but I found after the first few shots, it wasn't very reliable, and it would just kind of like peter out. So I think it's like based on your battery usage or something. So you may want to bring along a few more non-lethal weapons, or just punch them out. That's what I ended up doing. I ended up punching all of them out. Hand-to-hand combat, took them all down. But there is a lockbox, or a, what do they call it here? A post box, I think they call it. Underground, once you get through the mules, and there's going to be files that you need to collect from there, but they will not be there until you take this order. So you can't just collect them and bring them back like lost cargo. So we're going to head up here and start this mission out. And I will say, as I said, this is Order 77. There is an Order 78 and an Order 79. You do not need to complete the other 2 orders for the Platinum, but I do suggest that you complete them. The great thing about this is once you clear out the first section of the mule camp, the second order will be a lot easier. You can just run in and not worry about the mules because they'll already be asleep. You don't get to a new area, then you have to take those mules out, and then when you do the final order, if you do it fast enough, the outside mules and the mules in the next area should still all be knocked out, and then you can go to the final area. The final area is the cutscene that they showed at the announcement for this game. It's got a lot of Metal Gear references. Sam jumps into a box, and there's a couple other Metal Gear things going on in the facility, and they're a little harder to take down, I would certainly wouldn't go there with just hand-to-hand combat in mind. But your reward is at the end you meet a new character. Well, you don't necessarily have a conversation with them. You see a recorded video of them, and who they're talking to and who they're talking about will be very interesting information. It should prove to be interesting information for you if you've played through this game and you have any care for any of these characters. You might learn something new about some of them. So we're coming up here on the site. That's the post box that we need to gather the files from. And this new structure here is not in the original game. They added it for the director's cut. I think I was trying to figure out what the heck that was that had my name on it. It's like, what am I looking at? I don't know what that was. You know what? And now that I'm thinking about it, it may be something like a ladder or a climbing anchor that I put down in the PS4 version of the game that is now covered by this new landscape. So maybe that's why it's there. So if you haven't come up here and already knocked these guys out, once you kind of crest this hill, you're going to want to be on guard. There's a lot of tall grass, and you probably could sneak your way through most of the area.
Sam, you should be coming up on that cargo.
And I think I definitely probably
No doubt.
knocked a few of them out from behind using the rope. What's that called? The strand, I think. I think I knocked a bunch of them out, and then I just punched out the few other ones. But they're all still asleep here. If you move fast enough and you get through this and come back to do the next order, you'll have nothing to worry about as far as this area is concerned. They'll all be knocked out. I think they stay knocked out for like an in-game, or maybe an actual hour. I can't remember if in-game time or if it's actual time. But as you can see, there's plenty of areas to hide. Tall grass, all these kind of mossed up cars. And so this is it. Right here is actually the only thing you need to do in this new area. And you can ignore the other two orders and miss out on that story, that piece of story, but I suggest you go and check it out. It's definitely not too hard of an area. And you get to try out your new maser gun, take out a few more mules. Each of these orders also unlock a new song. This one unlocks Pale Yellow from Woodkid. Order 78 unlocks Goliath by Woodkid. And the final mission unlocks another song from a group. I have no idea who they are.
Get that cargo back to the distro center.
So I'm going to actually cut the video here pretty soon because Pale Yellow is going to start playing, and we don't like copyright claims. So we're just going to head straight back to the distribution center the same way we came. Once we turn that in, we actually unlock the chance to fabricate 2 items. The maser gun is going to be something we can now make ourselves. And the other thing we're going to unlock here is the support skeleton, which you'll see in just a few minutes here. The support skeleton is, there it is a little bit of each of the 3 skeletons that were in the previous version of the game. The power suit, the speed suit, and the all-terrain suit. So it allows you to carry 100 kilograms more of weight. It makes you a little faster. It makes it easier to traverse mountains and stuff. So you can put that on and get a nice upgrade to everything all at once instead of switching from one to another. And there's the maser gun. quickly, if you noticed, we unlocked 27 blueprints at the very beginning. Those are mostly gold and silver versions of all of the suits and armor and the power gloves. So you'll definitely want to create those as soon as you have the resources. This is the V-chip quest line that we're going to start working on here. The distribution center south of Lake Knot City. So yeah, 27 items that you already can fabricate. So just briefly here, the companion cube that William from Lake Knot is talking about here is one that you don't actually need to collect for the platinum. It's a little tiny little valve that you can hang off your backpack, but you don't actually have to go over there. It is easy to get, it's easy to retrieve, so you feel free to go and get it. But I just wanted to point that out, that is a companion cube you don't actually need to get. Here we are at Distribution Center, south of Lake Knot City, right? South, west, north, who knows? And we're going to go for 71, which is the first V-chip quest that we're going to do. In the end, this also gives you an item that you don't necessarily need to collect, but I suggest you get this one. It's very close by. It's very easy to get, and that should progress the emails from a mysterious J character, and they will begin requesting other V-chips to be located and to be turned into certain areas, and those will unlock certain items to fabricate. So we're just going to run up here and collect the first V-chip. It's just outside to the left, down the little crevice here, kind of close to where the collector's station is. While we're heading over there, let me just reiterate something. So when this game started, when we started up the game, it said that we had 27 new items that we could create ourselves. So there's 27 new fabrication items that you can make right at the beginning, and those are all the gold and silver versions of the power suit, speed suit, all-terrain suit, the power gloves, the armor plates. I believe that's everything. Those were items that I believe were added for the PC version of the game, and now you can access them here. What I ended up doing was, once I got to, it may have been here, the distribution center here, I just made sure to fabricate everything that was already unlocked, so that as we unlock the newer items, we fabricate them, we check them off the list. As with the base game, if you're not familiar with it, if you look up in the fabricate menu, if you look up an item, there you should see a small box at the bottom left corner, I believe. And if that box has a check mark in it, that means you've already created that thing at least once. And if it is blank and it's just an open box, then go ahead and create that item so that you get credit for fabricating it. Again, 108 items altogether that need to be created. You will have already made 72 of the items if you are loading your PS4 Platinum save, and 27 of those items are already available to you, and we've already unlocked the mazer gun and a support skeleton to fabricate. And once we finish these V quests and the Lambda quests from, does the person who gives us the Half-Life quest have a name? I can't remember. Anyway, I think if you continue the companion cubes, I think there's a little bit of a fun little story that goes with it, but I haven't actually finished. I haven't collected all the companion cubes yet. I wanted to get this video out and get it done. So here's the V-chip, very close by, very easy to get. Of course, I cut out the time where I fell off the cliff. No need to see me do that. And when we turn it in, we get our first Cyberpunk 2077 themed item. and that is some kind of oh yeah. Also, Jay, who was our pen pal here, they offer changes that you can make onto your compass, different things you can do with your compass and your Audra deck. And then you also get a kind of face cosmetic kind of scarring if you decide to put that on. I did not take a look at that. I don't even know how you do that to Sam's face, to put the V's face pattern on, but I imagine it's pretty easy to do. And now that we have turned in the first V chip, we get a thank you email, and we progress that quest line out. And Jay explains what he did to the compass mode. Focus your destination marker to give it a try. And Jay makes various changes to the compass as you collect more items. Some of them will prove to be fairly useful. Along with one of the items that you get from the Cyberpunk 2077 quest line, the silver hand, you can actually short circuit enemy trucks. Pretty cool thing. So we just rested, and we got two things here: another email, and Die Hard Men's telling us to go to the weather station. That is one of two new orders that if you miss Die Hardman telling you, you'll never know to go to them. You have to go to the weather station to do a very simple mission there, and you have to go to the Chiral Artist's studio to do a fairly simple mission there as well. Both of those missions will unlock the other two structures that you'll have to make and upgrade to level 3 in order to get the other two trophies that are waiting for you to complete. And here's our second V email, and it involves heading into a is this a mule camp? I don't remember if this is mule camp. We're gonna be heading into mule camp anyway, but that's to get a companion cube. That is just, it's an order at Lake Knot City, so we'll find out what that is. That might actually be 83, where we unlock the... No, it's not the buddy bot, because buddy bots wouldn't be part of the emails, the V emails. So I snuck into this mule camp here. This is the one that's kind of in between the distribution center and Lake Knot. It's west of Lake Knot, and it's kind of north of the distribution center. If you head like northwest, I wouldn't even say you have to head northwest from the distribution center. You pretty much just head north from the distribution center. But here's the companion cube tucked away here. So if you notice those new kind of turrets, it allowed me to shoot rubber bullets on this in this mule camp, and I did use those rubber bullet turrets in one of the other mule camps, and I was able to knock everybody out. It's fairly simple. Unfortunately, when you get to the more dangerous camps, the terrorist camps, there aren't rubber bullets that you can use, and you could end up killing a lot of bad guys and end up having a much bigger problem on your hands. Death is not a good thing in this game, even if it is in the title. So this is the second cube that we are turning in, but it was the third email that we received. Again, the second one is the one that's by Peter Englert. It is just a little backpack customization item. But this one unlocks the gravity gloves, which is kind of Half-Life and I would say Portal. No, I guess it is more Half-Life themed. Gravity glove is great. You can actually grab packages, grab items from like across a waterway or off of a mule's back or something. So we got another lost cargo, a lost companion cube email there. We'll take a look at it real quick. This one is in the ruined factory behind the craftsman's shelter. If that doesn't sound familiar to you, I'm sure once you see it, you'll recognize it. It is an item that you definitely, it's an area you definitely have to go into for the game, for the original game. And it's also a place where one of the memory chips is located. So you should be familiar enough with that ruined factory. And we're going to be walking behind it and picking up the final lost companion cube that we're going to need in this run for the platinum. So while we're here, we're going to take Order 83. It's a long trip, and we'll come back once we accept it, and we'll explain how this works. But basically, we're going to go pick somebody up and carry them all the way back here. We're going to head kind of close to where the Chiral Artist Studio is, just the other side of the mountain. So I'll be right back. So Order 83, we've headed all the way down past the junk dealer to the other side of the mountain where the Chiral Artist Studio is. We'll take a look at the map in a second here. This is an area I was not familiar with. I don't know if this is a new area in the game or if this is just an area that I had no reason to go over to. But if you see, there's the Chiral Artist Studio. We're on the other side of kind of a long streak of mountains there, and we have this porter here. So what I had done was I took the trip down in a truck. I ran into a few too many BTs, and I got kind of pulled out of the truck and ended up losing it and having to do a BT monster battle. So the truck was ruined pretty much. So I ended up walking the rest of the way, and when I got here I realized I have way too much stuff. So I'm going to put him down, I'm going to grab all my stuff, and I'm going to put everything else into a post box that is right around the corner. But listen to this, listen to the noise he makes after I grab my stuff and run away from him. Hey, what about me? Anyway, so I'm just going to store my stuff, and full disclosure, I don't think I ever come back for this stuff, but I brought it just in case I needed it, and in the end, I didn't really. I'm going to grab the porter, I'm going to walk back towards the distribution center, and eventually I'm going to get my hands on a truck and drive the rest of the way. What's great is with these transport missions where you're rescuing somebody, and the same with Mama and with the Chiral Artist during the main game, you can put them in a vehicle, but I don't think you can ride the trike. No, you should be able to. Yeah, because I definitely did another rescue mission later on, and I was riding a trike, and it worked. But maybe it's the dead bodies, you're not allowed to use it. Anyway, here we are in a truck with the rescued porter in the passenger seat, and we're going to turn them in and get a really cool item, the Buddy Bot. And I'll just start explaining it while we're doing this here. So the Buddy Bot is just like the service bots that we already have from the main story, but they actually have they hold the cargo above them, which I believe So do the service bots. But these buddy bots can actually travel with you. You can create them. You can create one. You can only create one at a time. So once you create one, if you need it somewhere else, you're going to have to select to decommission the first one that you made and make a new one. But they can transport cargo and follow you around, or they can carry you to the next destination. The problem with them that I found was you can't just ride them like a car or a trike and just go wherever you please. You have to have a actual delivery tied to where you're going. Otherwise, the buddy bot won't go anywhere. And the alternative is you can tell the buddy bot to simply go to the closest station, and they will take you where you need to go. So now we're doing a little bit of a catch up here. We're gonna build our first of 3 new structures, just so we have that out of the way. I'm doing this near the distribution center south of Lake Knot City, because distribution centers and like the large knot cities are a great place to build your structures so that you can grab resources close by to do all the upgrades. Again, this is automatically unlocked for you when you start the Director's Cut game after loading up your PS4 save. I don't know when it's unlocked in the game if you start the Director's Cut from the very beginning of the game. This is the chiral bridge. I haven't unlocked the chance to make my own yet. We'll be doing that, I believe, in the next video. But I figured since it's right here, why don't we go ahead and upgrade it so that we can at least get credit for upgrading it. So I'm going to upgrade the cargo catapult to level 3. And I'm going to upgrade this chiral bridge to level 3. As with the normal... there's the buddy bot following me around. As with the base game, basically, if you find a structure that you can add items to that will complete the upgrade to level 3, you'll get credit for upgrading that structure for the shoot. It's the trophy that I keep forgetting. It's not the master builder, it's the other one. Anyway, I said it earlier in the video, but so even if you're adding like 1 chiral crystal to a structure and that is the one final thing it needs to go from level 2 to level 3, you will get credit for upgrading that structure fully. So once you do that to all 10 structures in the Director's Cut, you'll get that trophy, and you will have already upgraded 7 of them. So it's just the cargo catapult, the chiral bridge, and the jump ramp, which might have a slightly different name. We'll take a look at that in the second video. By the way, this is the buddy bot, and this is how it works. Basically, if you want to ride it, if you have a delivery destination, it will take you there. But if you don't, it'll take you to the nearest station. So we're just going right back to distribution center. This is where the final companion cube you need to find for the platinum is. This is the ruined factory. It's kind of past the craftsman's prepper station. This is an area that you have to go a few times during the game, and one of the memory chips is inside the factory in kind of like a trailer that you have to walk into and collect it. But this item in particular is in the back of the factory. If you played through the game, all you have to do is just take your time, cut any umbilical cords that you can as you head there. Take your time, walk slowly. crouch. Get as many Kyle crystals as you can when you're doing these BT areas, because you're going to need them for the upgrades. And the companion cube is kind of on the right here, but I was just grabbing a few more BTs just so I could get the Kyle crystals. I do want to, since I have a minute here, I want to apologize for in case you're hearing some of the banging in the audio. I'm recording this on July 4th weekend, and it's only Saturday night of a 3-day weekend. So I'm sure if I would have done this last night or tomorrow night or Monday, which is actually July 4th, there'd be a lot more bangs. But unfortunately, it's late enough in the night. You would think they wouldn't be setting off fireworks, but I'm sure any place in America, they love setting off fireworks this time of year. So I apologize for the little banging noises you might hear in the background. But here we are with the final Lost Companion cube retrieved. This is where it's located, in the back of the ruined factory, kind of northwest of the Craftsman's Station. And you're going to collect that and return that, I believe, to Lake Knot City. Let me double check here. I didn't write down where you're supposed to. I wrote down Abandoned Factory by Craftsman, but that doesn't say. My notes don't tell me exactly where you're supposed to bring it, but we'll find out in a second, because we're going to be heading back here. So this is the distribution center. Okay, so bring that back to the distribution center, and you will unlock the final Half-Life themed item you need to fabricate for Homo Faber, or Homo Faber, if you're so inclined, since it's fabricate. And this item will be a nice yellow truck with the kind of Half-Life Lambda symbol on it. Just going through the emails here. I don't think we've done that one. Isn't that the mule camp? Yeah, that's the mule camp that we haven't retrieved yet.
Weapons detected. All weapons will be locked until...
We still have 2 V-chip items to collect to unlock the 2 necessary items to fabricate. Here's the order I was just talking about, order 72, to go into the mule camp that is pretty much directly south of Lake Knot City, and retrieve the V-chip and return it back to Lake Knot to unlock a reverse trike, a little motorcycle. It's a cool looking motorcycle, actually. So here is our Half-Life truck. Type A is what it's called, apparently. And I'm grabbing some weapons here. I think in the end, this one, no, I think I end up having to use some of these weapons this time.
Order assigned.
This part I probably could have sped up, because I think I'm actually going to show you the entire run. So I'm going to go off the audio here for a minute in case I decide to speed this up. Either way, we'll return back once we have our item, and we get our new fabrication blueprint. So we took on a little bit of fire there, but I would say for the most part that was fairly simple. Just go in and get it. If I wouldn't have gotten one of those electrical rods thrown at the truck, I would have been able to make it out of there a lot faster. It was actually more of a fight than I thought that camp would usually give you, because that's usually a pretty easy camp once you've gotten enough experience in the game. And then you notice how many of those mules ran to those new turrets. They love using those turrets on you. So watch out for that.
Everything looks to be in perfect condition. Thank you, Sam.
So William's gonna get the package here, and the V chip is gonna be turned in. And that's going to give us a reverse trike that looks really cool, and temporarily disabled sensor poles. That's what we can now do thanks to Jay and our new compass upgrade.
This one's for you.